The wealthiest person you know probably doesn't look wealthy. No supercar, no watch you'd recognize, no posts about the new place. And that's not an accident. That's the whole point. Because the habits that actually build wealth are quiet, unglamorous, and almost invisible from the outside. Meanwhile, the people performing wealth loudly are usually the ones drowning in payments to keep the performance going. Today, I'm giving you the 10 quiet habits that separate people who build real money from people who just look like they have it. Number 6 is the one almost nobody has the discipline for. Quick thing before we start, none of these require a big income, not one. Every habit here works on a normal paycheck, and most of them cost nothing to start. They just cost your ego a little. Let's get into it. Habit 1. Automate every decision. Habit number 1. They remove themselves from the decision entirely. Here's what most people don't understand about wealthy, disciplined people. They're not actually more disciplined than you. They just built systems that don't require discipline. Money moves before they ever see it. The investment contribution, the savings transfer, the retirement contribution. All automatic, all scheduled the day the paycheck lands. Why it works. Willpower is a terrible financial strategy. It's strongest on the first of the month and gone by the 20th. Automation makes the right decision once and then repeats it forever, including on the days you feel broke, stressed, or tempted. You are outsourcing your future to a system instead of trusting your mood. How to start. Pick one number, even $50, and set an automatic transfer for the day after payday, not the end of the month, the day after payday before life gets a vote. Habit 2, keep your wins private. Habit number 2, when they win, they tell almost no one. The raise, the bonus, the good investment year. It stays quiet. This isn't false modesty. It's strategy. The second money becomes public. It becomes a social obligation. Suddenly there's an expectation to upgrade, to celebrate, to prove it. And every one of those expectations has a price tag. There's a quieter reason too. Announcing a win gives you the emotional reward immediately, the congratulations, the status hit. And once you've collected that feeling, the actual discipline of keeping the money gets harder. The applause becomes the prize instead of the wealth. Why it works. Privacy protects you from lifestyle pressure you never agreed to. How to start. Next time something good happens financially, wait 30 days before telling anyone outside your household. Just 30 days. Watch how differently you handle the money. Habit 3. Buy assets before upgrades. Habit number 3. Nothing gets upgraded until something gets bought that pays them back. Most people run this backwards. Money comes in, lifestyle goes up, and investing gets whatever's left, which is nothing. Wealthy people invert it. The income buys ownership first. Only after the asset is funded does any of it turn into a nicer car, a nicer place, a nicer anything. It's not that they never enjoy money, it's the order. They make the money work before they let it be fun. And here's the compounding effect of that order. The assets they bought early eventually pay for the upgrades later, so the nice things arrive without touching the paycheck at all. Why it works. Every dollar you spend before investing is a dollar that will never earn for you again. Spending first has an invisible cost, everything that dollar would have become. How to start. Make one rule. No lifestyle upgrade until that month's investing is already done. It's a sequencing change, not a sacrifice. Habit 4. Track net worth, not income. Habit number 4. They know a number almost nobody knows. Ask most people what they make and they'll tell you instantly. Ask them what they're worth and you'll get a blank stare. But income is just the water coming through the pipe. Net worth is what's actually in the tank. Everything you own minus everything you owe. It's the only number that reflects whether you're actually getting ahead. Wealthy people check it monthly. Not obsessively, just consistently. 10 minutes, once a month. And that simple act changes behavior, because the moment you start measuring something, you start managing it. You'll notice how a car payment drags the number down. You'll notice how boring automatic investing quietly pulls it up. Why it works. You cannot grow a number you refuse to look at. How to start. Open a note on your phone right now. List what you own. List what you owe. Subtract. That's your number. Check it the first of every month. That one habit will teach you more about money than a year of scrolling finance content. Habit 5. Keep fixed costs low. Habit number 5. They win the big 3 and stop sweating the small stuff. Here's where most money advice wastes your time, telling you to skip coffee. Meanwhile, the 3 decisions that actually determine your financial life are housing, transportation, and food. Those 3 eat the majority of most people's income, and they're locked in for years at a time. Wealthy people are almost boring about these. They buy less house than they qualify for. They drive a paid-off car far longer than they need to. They eat out less than their income allows. Not because they're cheap, because a low fixed cost base means every raise, every bonus, every good year has somewhere productive to go instead of being pre-spent. Why it works? A small monthly commitment is a huge lifetime commitment. A payment isn't a payment, it's a decade of your future income already spoken for. How to start? Add up your housing, car, and food costs. If they're eating more than half your take-home, that's your project. Fix one of those 3 and you'll free up more money than 100 small sacrifices ever will. Habit 6. Let your money be boring. Habit number 6. The one almost nobody can actually do. They let money be boring. This is the hardest habit on this list, and it's the most important. Wealthy people find something that works, and then they repeat it for years without touching it. Same index fund, same automatic contribution, same plan through crashes, booms, headlines, and hot tips. They do not chase, they do not tinker, they do not reposition every time the market moves. Meanwhile, most people lose money not by picking the wrong thing, but by being unable to leave the right thing alone. They panic sell in the dip and pile in at the top. They jump from strategy to strategy, chasing whatever went up last month. Every jump has a cost, and the costs compound just like returns do, just against you. Why it works? Compounding needs time more than it needs brilliance. Every time you interrupt it, you reset the clock on the very thing that makes you rich. How to start? Decide right now that your investing is a decision you already made, not one you remake every week. Set it, then deliberately practice doing nothing. Boredom is the price of admission. Habit 7. Raise your ceiling. Habit number 7. They keep making themselves worth more. There's a floor on how much you can cut. There's no ceiling on how much you can become worth. Wealthy people understand that skill is the one asset that pays for every other asset, so they keep investing in what they can do, know, and solve. That doesn't mean another degree. It means a skill the market actually pays for: sales, building things, managing people, a trade, a craft, something you can charge for. And critically, when the income from that skill arrives, it flows straight back into habits 1 through 6. Because a bigger paycheck poured into old habits just makes you broke at a higher volume. Why it works? Cutting costs has a limit, earning capacity doesn't. The two together are what actually widen the gap. How to start? Pick one skill that would raise your income within 12 months and give it 3 hours a week. That's it. 3 hours a week compounds too. Habit 8. Refuse debt that doesn't pay you back. Habit number 8. They draw a hard line between debt that earns and debt that drains. Most people treat all debt the same. A payment is a payment. Wealthy people split it in 2. There's debt that buys something which puts money back in your pocket, and there's debt that buys something which only takes. A loan for an asset can be a tool. A loan for a lifestyle is a leash. Here's what consumer debt actually is. You are renting your future income to pay for present comfort, and the interest is the rental fee. Every financed upgrade, the car, the furniture, the vacation, quietly signs away months of income you haven't even earned yet. And because the payments feel small, most people never notice they've committed years of their life to things that are already losing value. Why it works? Staying out of consumer debt keeps your future income free, and free income is exactly what buys assets. How to start? List every debt you have and mark each one earns or drains. Attack the drains highest interest first, Then redirect that exact payment straight into investing. You were already living without that money. Habit 9. Give every dollar a job. Habit number 9. Before the month begins, every dollar already has an assignment. This isn't budgeting in the joyless spreadsheet shaming sense. It's simpler than that. Money that isn't assigned gets absorbed. It disappears into small, forgettable decisions, and by the end of the month, you genuinely can't account for it. Wealthy people decide where the money goes before the month gets an opinion. Investing gets its number. Fixed costs get theirs. Food, fun, everything. Assigned in advance. And here's the part most people miss. This isn't restriction, it's permission. Once the fun money is assigned, you get to spend it guilt-free because everything that mattered was already funded. Why it works? Unassigned money always finds a way to be spent. Assignment turns vague intentions into actual outcomes. How to start? Take 20 minutes before the month starts and write down where every dollar of your expected income goes, investing first. Don't aim for perfect. Aim for assigned. Habit 10. Choose your circle carefully. Habit number 10, and it's the quietest one of all. They are deliberate about who they spend their time around. Your spending normalizes to the people closest to you. It's almost impossible to resist. If everyone around you upgrades their car every 3 years, that becomes normal. If everyone around you talks about investing and paying things off, that becomes normal too. Nobody has enough willpower to permanently fight their own environment. This isn't about abandoning your friends. It's about being honest that your financial life drifts toward the average of the rooms you sit in. So make sure at least one of those rooms has people who are further along than you, quietly doing the right things. Why it works. Environment beats willpower over the long run, every single time. How to start. Find one person, one podcast, or one community that makes saving and investing feel normal instead of weird. You're not looking for advice. You're looking for a new normal. The recap. All 10 habits. So there they are. 10 quiet habits. Automate so you don't have to be disciplined. Keep your wins private so you don't spend them. Buy assets before upgrades. Track your net worth, not your income. Keep housing, car, and food low. Let your money be boring. Keep raising your ceiling. Refuse debt that doesn't pay you back. Give every dollar a job. And choose the circle that makes all of it feel normal. Notice what none of these required. Not a big salary, not luck, not a secret. Every one of them is a behavior you can start on your current income this week. That's the whole thesis of this channel. Wealth isn't loud, and it isn't complicated. It's just quiet habits, repeated far longer than most people are willing to repeat them. If one of these hit you, pick that one and start it today. Not all 10, just the one. And subscribe to Rich Person Habits, because every week I break down one more habit that quietly separates the wealthy from everyone else. No hype, no gimmicks, just the stuff that works. I'll see you in the next one.